welcome, welcome. Bonus, enter the room. Please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend. Okay, so this is our makeup for last week, The Real Housewives of Miami, season 5, episode 14, Rage, Release, Repeat. Okay, so nothing much really happened.
No. Mm-mm. To me, this felt like a bridge episode. It was just to get us from one place to another.
But we had a bridge the last. I just feel like they're stretching content, and they hinted at this confrontation between Adriana and Alexia in the last episode, but it was at the very tail end of this episode, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
So, in my opinion, here's what they did: is they had to fulfill their contract with the hotel. They probably signed a 2 episode deal with the hotel, and they had to fulfill that contract in order to get the best rate in the room. That's just my opinion. Could be wrong. Because
They
this
got those
episode really
rooms
wasn't
for
needed.
free. That was a barter agreement. They got those rooms for free in
Mm.
exchange for advertising, like saying Bahamar a certain amount of times and showcasing the hotel in a beautiful light and the vendors for the events and
So
stuff
be a,
like
so be a
that.
two, yeah, that's what I said. It had to be like a two
Mhm.
episode agreement.
But
But
isn't it like but we're still going back to Bahamar next week, aren't we? Because we're picking up with the
we're
fight
picking it
next
up.
week.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oof. Yeah, they really are stretching content at this point.
Um, it, okay, so we start the episode off with Marisol arriving with the bullhorn. So she tested a false positive. I don't know, whatever, she's there. Not many people are happy. I don't know. Lisa's still there. Lisa leaves early because she can't trust with the situation she's going through with her upcoming or pending divorce or whatever. She can't trust leaving her kids alone for too long, which I agree with. She
Hmm.
upheld her contractual obligation to appear for this episode. God knows she needs the money for what she has coming to her. So yeah, she shows up, but she leaves early. Duh, duh, duh. Adriana picks up with her conversation with Alexia, telling her that during her divorce, she felt like they were too busy to call her, that her cholesterol was over 250. Um, and then she goes into attacking Marisol, saying that Marisol's ex-boyfriend tried to hit her up on a dating app, and he told her that he never loved Marisol. And Marisol was like, "Oh my God! First, why are you telling me that now? Why didn't you tell me that back then? And you're only saying that to hurt me because he was one of the great loves of my life." I don't buy any of it. Uh, Whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't understand what Adriana is doing. It's a little bit more than a friend. Like, I think she's going into full-time mojito holder mode as opposed to being just a friend of.
Right.
Um, and she's trying to get all of the axes grind against everybody. And at this point, I think she's just scattering shots instead of targeting her animosity towards the right subjects. It just feels like a mess to me.
She's all over the place. It's like what's really wrong with you at this point? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
what? I mean, here's the thing. If I felt that my friend group wasn't there for me, I would have brought this up a long time ago. Like, why didn't you bring this up during your divorce? That's just the way I see it. Because if you're such close friends, and when I feel like I'm not being communicated with my closest of friends, I go to them. Either I go to them and we talk it out, or B, which is what I normally do. I keep the communication where it is until they reach out to me, and then when they ask me, where have you been? You haven't talked in a long time, and I tell them like that's through no fault of mine. Like I reached out to you, and you really have not responded. So there's something I just gave up trying to reach out, and then we have that conversation.
And I agree with your thought process on that. But here's where I think Adriana is misguided. I don't know if Adriana's trying to make me believe that she thought that these women were her friends in the first incarnation of this show. Because when she was getting divorced, there was no show. So these were just filming friends and not friends'
Oh,
friends.
oh,
So, like, are you trying to make me believe that you thought that these was friends? Because to me, Alexia is not capable of having anything called a friend.
mm. Except the Marisol. That's it.
I don't even think to Marisol because she done ratted out Marisol not being real married. And
That
that
is
was
true.
done to deflect attention off of her dumb ass.
You make a good point.
So, like, I know you're struggling for a storyline, but I don't think this is it. Do I think that you are lonely? Yeah. Do I think you want to come at the two of those women for screwing up what happened between you and Thierry? Yeah. But I also want you to say that and not talk about your divorce from Frederick, which wasn't on camera. Talk about the here and now, how they messed up your relationship. Come out and said it's because of y'all two bitches going into all of his business and messing with his professional reputation, like what y'all was doing with Dr. Nicole, because Terry is a Dr. Terry. You know, he coming on this show trying to promote his little weight loss business. And what do? You take your butt to somebody else's doctor to promote weight loss. And then you try to say
Mm,
that he married and that could impact his professional standing in the community. Like for real. And then like your excuses is that you ain't scrolled down the page to see that his divorce decree was there. You know, you came at him all wrong, calling him all sorts of names, and now you're going and ruined another relationship for me. That's how you should have came at it and not brought up all the other baggage that wasn't relevant because we wasn't filming. Because quite honestly, I don't care about what happens when we not filming between like the 5 or 8 years that this show was down. That's all.
I mean, and it's a fair thing. So it's like we say with other franchises, we don't like when people bring things that didn't happen on camera. If they happen off camera, we shouldn't know about it. This is something that happened off camera. So I'm coming at it from that point of view. For you to wait all this time to say like you guys aren't really my friends. Like if you had came on if she had came on last season and said this, I might could roll with her on it. I
Mm-hmm.
might be able to go with her on that. But you gonna wait till like almost 2 seasons in and say this? Nah,
Mm-hmm.
nah. See, that's where I have the issue. Had you guys come back, and we could, because last season was the first season they're back. You could have done that on the catch up. She could have said like, what? The dynamics of the group have changed for me a little bit. Marisol and Alexia and I aren't as close as we used to be because when I was going through my divorce, like they weren't really there for me. Had she said that last season, we could have rolled with Adriani on that one. But, ma'am, 2 seasons in, can't work with you on this one. I felt some sympathy for her a little bit. I really
Mm-hmm.
did because the way
Mm-hmm.
they were coming at her. But I can't roll with her all the way due to the timing.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that there could have been a better argument had. Just
For
saying.
sure. There's a lot of things to argue with Alexia with. I mean,
Oh
this
my god, yeah,
didn't
especially
have to be
this
one of them.
season. Especially this
Yeah.
season. Um Nicole tells the group that they're having dinner on the beach that evening, and I think they're gonna have like a spiritual healer attend the dinner. So that sounds, with anybody else it would have been sounding fun, but with this group,
I have a question, and I'm going to make sense here, and I apologize, but y'all got mad when you thought when Adriana and Julia went to the shop, right?
right.
Okay, I'm gonna try to articulate this the best I can. Y'all was mad at that. I
Uh-huh.
don't want any crystals from anyone. I don't want this for anyone. I don't know what your intentions are. Blah 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 blah. Right?
Uh-huh.
But you gonna tell me you are okay with some spiritual healer you do not know and do not know their intentions? You're okay with that? Okay.
Hold on. Didn't we
Okay.
have a shaman in this thing too?
Was it
Didn't we
earlier
have a
this season?
shaman? I know we had a shaman sometime.
Somewhere.
I swear every franchise has a shaman. But yeah, no, that's a valid point. That is a valid point. Um but again, you have to examine the source. Alexia and Marisol pick and choose who they have issues with. They do. They cherry
Mm-hmm.
pick. And it's quite annoying. Um Eh, oh God. Even down
Mm-hmm.
to the rock, because Marisol came late, so they gave her little present, which is the little stone with the word love or peace or some shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they someone asked her about, I think it was either Julia or Adriana asked her about it, and she just basically, oh, I threw it off the balcony. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Here's why. That's a huge risk. What if
Right.
somebody's walking below and you're on the 10th floor and that hits
Mm-hmm.
them? Nobody throws anything off of a balcony without thinking about getting a lawsuit afterwards. Sorry.
Exactly.
Y'all need to come up with better bullshit to spew at us. Um and this is not me saying that I don't like this franchise. It is my favorite franchise, but some, like, y'all getting a little sloppy now. Get it together. Let's see. We have Larsa and Nicole having a talk. And Larsa apologizes to Nicole. Do I believe it? No.
Oh.
Larsa also gets in a dig at Adriana, saying that Adriana likes to play victim. How did Nicole come out of this feeling vindicated? Like, she actually believed what Larsa said?
Well, in her mind, like she's like coming from a black and white standpoint, she feels vindicated because Larsa apologized on camera. That's what
But
it
in
was.
the
That's
but
all
in
it was.
the confessional, Larsa was backtracking on what she said. Like, I hate Larsa. Oh my god, I can't. I can't. Um, but good on Nicole for believing that, whatever. But again, good on these two. They have the blow up. They apologize. They move on. They're friends for a little bit until the next blow up.
Let's
Don't
be
drag
honest.
it out all season.
Let's be honest. Can we just be honest with Dr. Nicole?
Hmm.
Dr. Nicole does not believe anything Larsa is saying. She only did that because she don't care about Larsa. She don't feel Larsa's worth her time to be going back and forth with. So she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna go back and forth with this chick. She don't mean nothing to me. I'm a whole doctor married to a whole, well, about to be married to a whole lawyer. I ain't got time for this. That's why she did it. Sorry. It is what it is.
I'm going to throw this out to you. Do you think Nicole is the perfect housewife in the making? Does she check all the
Yes,
boxes?
she checks all the boxes. I'm just saying, she is she is on her she's on her way. She's not there yet. She's too new, but she's
But
on her
she's a quick
way to like,
study.
yeah, she's on her way to like LVP status. Like
Mm.
if she plays it right and
Hmm.
stays a favorite of Andy Cohen, and
Mhm.
Anthony doesn't get arrested for anything, think I think you know she's as long as no major skeletons come out the closet, I think she's on her way.
Mm-mm.
I'm just
Okay.
saying. So she's what we
All
want.
right.
She's successful. She has
Mhm.
her own career. She's not dependent on her man, but her man is
Mhm.
coin, and they
Mhm.
show us the actual lifestyle.
Mhm.
So she ticks all the boxes.
And she's quick-witted. She's
Yes,
quick-witted and educated.
but
Um,
she's not fair confrontation.
uh-huh.
She doesn't run away from it. She doesn't cower. She I think with Nicole, what people are really drawn to and why she resonates with so many people is because she's new, but she's like you said, she's a quick study, and she doesn't cower to anyone. She's very confident in who she is and what she's accomplished on her own. And I think when
Mhm.
you have that behind you, it gives you a level of freedom. And I think this
Mm.
is where she is in her life. You know,
Mhm.
like Monique Samuels, like when she said, "I was just a little Bravo check." Like
Mhm.
when you're not in need, you
Mhm.
can be yourself, and that's where I think Nicole is in life. Like she's like, I don't need this. If this show, you know, got canceled tomorrow, I'm still good.
Mhm. Mhm. True, true. Okay, so oh, Nicole also, while the ladies are getting ready, she actually calls the Botanica to find out that it's like a gift shop. It's not a real like Botanica. So, but why did I feel like Julia is overhearing this and not really understanding that Nicole is clearing her
Right,
from, any like I would be grateful that Nicole was clearing that up, but to me it seemed like Julia was taking offense to it. But um oh, did
I
you hear
think
when they said they don't like the rest of the ladies said that they didn't think Julia would be versed in that kind of stuff, but Adriana as a Brazilian is schooled in witchcraft. When did that happen? I mean,
right,
not schooled in it, but like coming from Caribbean, Central and South America, like we should know about it. Like we all have our different versions of it,
right,
but I wouldn't say somebody was schooled in it
right.
because that's somebody practicing the actual arts of it. That's a big statement.
And then my whole thing is this: like, I find it funny when people make little digs of like that. Like, to me, it comes across as uneducated because if anyone has done research or looked into this, it's actually recognized as a religion, depending on what you're talking about. So,
Hmm.
like, would you do that to a Christian? Would you make those kind of statements to a Christian person, a Jewish person, an Islamic person? It just reeks of
Yeah.
uneducated. Sorry, it just does.
Yeah. I just thought it was a reach when they said that because I was just like, wait, what? Oh, okay. So that's where we going now. All righty. Um, let's see. We see some little toss away scenes like Lisa talking to her kids. Down now we get to the dinner. It's down on the beach. There's a fire dancer. The healer, Micaiah. What was it? It was Micaiah. Is that how you
I
think
think
they
it's Messiah.
pronounced it?
That's the way I
Yeah.
read it. I'll put it that way.
Micaiah. Okay. So she's from the spa. And she's like this spiritual healer. And she tells the ladies that after dinner that she's gonna help them do a rage release to help them. And Kiki says, oh God, Kiki. She says that she's not getting any action, so her vagina chakra is closed and she needs it to be open. Um, she does some interesting things at this dinner, including peeing by the shoreline and really getting into this exercise when they finally do the rage release. What is going on with Kiki?
Okay, we love our Kiki, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's looking real thirsty for a mojito.
Oh, I thought it was just me. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And also
I
remember she had that blow up with Adriana and she lost some steam. So,
okay.
she thought she was making an impact.
But by pissing by the shoreline. Okay.
Trying to be
Okay.
outrageous.
All right. Well, it made our conversation, so it's working. Um, this is where Julia asked Marisol if she got the stone, and she said she was spooked by it, and that by that kind of energy. Um, Alexia wants to know what's going on with Julia and if there's something more. Um, if there's something more to what's going on, and Julia tells her point blank, I don't think we resolved anything from our discussion in the Keys where you called me a Russian prostitute. I agree with that. I agree because I don't think they resolved it back then. And,
No,
she's been snarky since, but so has Julia. Julia ain't let it go neither.
right, exactly.
But I kind of feel
That's
like
why,
Julia has a better reason not to let it go because she was called the name from
right.
nowhere.
And here's the thing. Here's why Julia. I give Julia a little bit more grace in this is because you just sat there and stereotyped a, a whole group of people,
Mm-hmm.
a whole group of people. Like, dude, like, and here's the thing. Like, we also have to remember, Julia has daughters who are part Russian. So you
Mm-hmm.
making that blanket statement is like you calling her daughters the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Did she
again,
ever
like
apologize for that though?
she apologized, but it was like one of those like, I'm sorry you were, I'm sorry if you were insulted, but it was one of those apologies.
Apology, not apology. Oh, fuck.
Right.
Yeah. Um, Alexia tells Julia that she don't know how to have a conversation. And then Julia calls her a barracuda. And these bitches sit at this table and pull up a picture of a barracuda. And then production does a side by side.
Okay, they were so wrong for that. They were so wrong for that. I was like, you know what? Y'all messy. But y'all are beyond messy with this one. Come on now.
It was beautiful though. It was beautiful. Um then Lisa actually tells the ladies, I wish I had these problems in my life. Referencing her divorce. So she's trying to bring the come on, Lisa, don't bring the mood down. Just
Right.
enjoy the barracuda. Um Adriana then turns around and calls Larsa a snitch for running back and telling everybody what was said at the spa. Adriana gets so angry she tosses her drink, like not the actual glass, but she tosses the liquid in it. I don't know where it. I couldn't tell which direction it went in. I assumed it was at Larsa, but
Mm-hmm.
they didn't seem to have been hit by it. So maybe she's really smart and threw it off to the side and not at someone.
Probably.
Um, let's see. So at this point, when Adriana seems to be like breaking down, Gertie runs off. Gertie was looking real cute in that see-through dress with the bathing suit underneath it. I love that outfit. She ran off and got the healer to come back, and they pulled Adriana away to the little lounge area they had set up um, to get some help, I guess. That was a little odd what happens later over there, but anyway, Larsa then has the nerve to say that she never starts conflict, but then production shows each and every time this season that she started a conflict. Does Larsa not know that she's being filmed?
I think she forgets.
Oh my god. Um, let's see. This is where Kiki goes and takes a piss. We see Adriana sitting with the healer, and she says that she tells this healer was not paid enough for this session. She was not. Bravo, you need to cut her a check. This was ridiculous what this poor healer lady went through. Adriana sitting there telling the woman that she doesn't have that these ladies are not true friends, and that if she was dead, it would take them days to find her rotting body. She wants to know why they don't like her, and she's crying. Meanwhile, back at the table, Alexia um says that she takes stupidity to another level. Alexia, you just confirming what this girl's saying.
Pretty much.
Mm-mm-mm. But again, this should be another home truth for Adriana. There are friends, and then they're filming friends. Adriana
Right.
and Marisol are filming friends. Julia and Nicole and Gertie could be friends. Just saying. If you don't see them during the off season, they're not your friends.
Right. Like if you guys are following each other on Instagram outside of the show, Twitter, stuff like that. It's like we'll see like Sutton and Garcelle hanging out off camera. That
I don't
that's
even,
a friend friend.
let's take social media out of this. Let's take
Okay.
social media out of this. If the only time I see you is when you are contractually obligated to see me in person, then we are not friends. We are filming friends.
Okay.
Oh my god. Um so they Okay, so then the healer starts the rage release, and she lines all the ladies up down by the shore. Um, she encourages them to shake their arms and scream to release whatever anger they have been holding inside and internalizing.
Mhm.
Um, next we see this dissolve. Like Kiki's the only one who's doing like the screaming to the maximum. Um, then Gertie and Kiki start playing around. They're like jumping on each other or holding each other. Anyway, Gertie kind of jumps into Kiki's arms. Kiki is off balance and crashes into Lisa, who was talking to the spiritual healer about Lenny, but then somehow they crash into Adriana. Now, in the first, like in the actual running of the scene, it didn't look
Mhm.
like anything much, but when they played it back in slow motion, Adriana's leg did bend at an awkward position. And she did have a bruise. There was a bruise, but Adriana she falls down. She says her foot is broken. Alexia and Marisol are like, nah, you're just faking it. I think even Nicole is doubting it. Um, some people were like, why isn't Nicole like helping when she's a whole doctor? Malpractice.
Right.
I'm not
And,
touching
and
you
and she's
unless
an
you're in the hospital.
anesthesiologist.
But
And
she's
she's an
still
anesthesiologist.
trained. But she's still
No, she
trained to be a
is.
doctor.
But
But she
this is
doesn't
a
even look
Westlake
at her.
W.
Yeah, like I'm not touching you. They've got medical staff here. Let them take, the fall. I'm not getting sued by any of you. Woo, woo, woo. You'll be fine. Take an aspirin and call me in the morning. um, Well, that's the end of the night. They go back to their room. Like I said, they call medical assistance for Adriana. He wraps her ankle, then he has to carry her. He nearly falls down, tripping over a dress. Whatever. Of course, Marisol and Alexia are like, "Oh, we feel like something is looming, something bad is going to happen." Stop being such downers. The next morning, Adriana's in bed with an ice pack. And that's where we see the bruising on the back of her leg. So, but she takes it to a new level. We see Lisa telling the ladies goodbye. She's going back home early. Um, let's see. Somebody says, oh, Larsa tells the ladies that Karma was on the beach and somebody put a jinx on them. I don't think so. Y'all were on an uneven surface, sand. Y'all were
Right.
fucking around. Y'all were drinking. It was dark. Anything could happen. Um, Nicole says that they're going to spend the day on Bahamar's private island. Um, and that later they're going to celebrate Kiki and Julia's birthday. Let's see. The rest of the ladies get to the presidential suite where they're staying, and Julia is wheeling Adriana down to the suite in the squeakiest wheelchair I have ever heard ever in life.
Okay, I think they picked that wheelchair on purpose. That's just my opinion.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Um, the ladies, when they see her being wheeled in this chair, they're just like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" They just think that Adriana is milking the injury for everything that it's worth, and they're advised that they're taking this boat to the private island. So how are you gonna work that out? Um, they get her onto the boat. They get her off of the boat. One of the deckhands carries her piggyback style. She's enjoying this, but here's my thing where I call BS. Now, when you're carrying somebody piggyback style, you're holding on to their legs. And her leg was hurt. Yes, I know it was further down her, like behind her shin, her
Hmm.
calf, which was bruised, but still, I would I would think that would be uncomfortable. I would rather try limping. That's just me. Um, what else happens here? Kiki gets in the water and takes off her top. Girl, you don't do that in the Bahamas. You do that in St.
Who?
Bart's. You do that in the more European islands, not in the British based islands.
I got you.
um let's see. They come back to the chairs. They have some chairs set up on the sand, and this is where things kick off. Adriana says that on the boat she was really happy to see that the ladies were enjoying her latest song, and she thanks them for dancing to her music, which I thought was nice. Um, Alexia says that they have problems with her on so many other different things. Alexia, so you started up with Adriana. Um, and I guess she's hinting at her leg and playing up the injury. And she says, "What happened to your foot was an accident." And Adriana says, "Accidents have consequences, like, with Frankie." Alexia says, "Don't bring up Frankie." And she starts to cry. Adriana seems to be screaming. She could have lost her foot. This whole scene didn't make sense to me. I don't think we saw enough of it. Do I think Adriana should have mentioned Frankie's accident? No. But do I think she was comparing the two accidents? No. She was saying that actions have consequences. And that could be applied to everything that we, like me putting, milk in my coffee this morning,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I think Frankie will always be a sore spot. Um, I don't know. I need to see more. Like, I know I said this last week, but I need to see more. What did you think?
You know what? For me, this came across as a very, very poor analogy, and it was just we all have that friend that means well or it doesn't mean harm, but they don't think all the way before they speak, and it just turns real bad. I think that's really what it was, in my opinion.
I think Adriana's sloppy with these two women, Alexia and Marisol in particular, because she has so much pent up hostility against these two women. I think normally she's very calculated because if you remember last season, she was very calculated with Larsa. She knows how to do that, but I don't think she cares enough about Larsa. I
Right.
think that she really wants a friendship with these two. I think she thinks that she thought she had a real friendship
Mm-hmm.
with these two. And I feel like she's really been hurt by these two. Um, but I also think you need to get over it because these two have an exclusive club. It's their club. And they choose who they're going to admit and who they won't. They've chosen to keep you out. Just let it go. You have Julia. You have other people that you could be friends with. You don't need to be
Right.
friends with these two. And stop reaching backwards for them. You know, just keep going forward. That's how I feel. But I still want to see more. Do I think she should have brought up Frankie? No.
Yeah, 100% wrong.
I still want to see more because they
Because
accused her of milking stuff. Um, Alexia, you're going to continue milking this too. Sorry. Your life is not untouchable. We need to be able to say stuff about you and your family, just like how you say stuff about everybody else in their family.
and a lot of people brought that up on Twitter too. Like, no, it wasn't on Twitter actually. Twitter brought up the fact that Frankie should have been mentioned, but a group that was talking, it was a lot back and forth. Whew, so sorry. Oh, long day already. We're only half done. And someone brought up a very good point
Uh huh.
that Frankie's not a child. We'll put it out there. He's like what 25, 26.
Mm
So
hmm.
he's mid 20s, right? That's number one.
Mm hmm.
Number two, someone else brought up this good point that most likely, given Frankie's condition,
Mm hmm.
she's probably his guardian, and she probably has to sign for him to actually be on the show.
Mm hmm.
And then number three, they find it interesting that Alexia will use Frankie as her whole storyline and as a prop, but the moment someone even mentions him, it's a problem.
Mm hmm.
And when you look at it from that, when I looked at it from that perspective, I'm like, well, that's fair because if we're being honest, outside of Frankie, what storyline does Alexia have?
Exactly. Exactly. Um, and I get that he is an adult, right? But because of his accident, is he really
Mm-hmm.
adult? Because if
Right.
she is his legal guardian, if she's the guardian, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of takes him back to being a child. So yes, in age wise, he is an adult, but he's relearning a lot of things that we take for granted and he'll never catch up. That's the thing. So he does have Is it a would you consider it like a mental impairment? A disability?
I'm not. I want. For some reason, I want to say this is classified as a disability.
This is a disability. Okay. So there has to be some grace there. And especially due to the circumstances in which he became like that is traumatic. That is traumatic. So you do have to tiptoe around certain things like that. But Alexia cannot continue to hold it as a shield
Right.
because you bring him into these situations by bring him on to be filmed. You do. And again, they weren't the best words, but there are consequences not only for words but actions.
Mm-hmm.
So you open yourself, you might not open your life up, but you're opening yourself up for people to toss things at you.
Right. And Adriana wasn't looking at. Adriana wasn't doing it maliciously, and it comes. If you look at it at a glance, yes, it can seem mean to bring him up, but when you look at it in like a broader context,
Mm-hmm.
it's like okay, she was trying to make an analogy, a bad analogy, but an
Mm-hmm.
analogy nonetheless.
Yeah. And I think Housewives, okay, I know everybody compares Alexia to Teresa, but again, analogies don't work with these two women because they don't get it. They don't get it. So, don't do analogies with these two. It just
Right.
it doesn't work well in the end. But that's the episode, y'all. I think we've hit everything, right?
Yes.
All right. So this was the Real Housewives of Miami season 5 episode 14 from last week. Join us tomorrow where we'll have two tons of fun. 1,000 Pound Sisters, 1,000 Pound Best Friend, and the current episode that was released today of Real Housewives of Miami season 5 episode 15 where we see Leah Black. Did you see it yet? Did you finish watching it?
No, I'm halfway through.
Is she on in the first
Yeah.
half?
Wait. I
Oh
want to say she's on the first half because that's where Lisa goes to her house.
my god! And we get to go back into her house?
I think it's her. I think it's her house. I was more listening. I was more listening to anything, but I mean the advice that she gave Lisa, in my opinion, was spot on.
Uh-huh.
She gave her a dose of hard truth,
Mm-hmm.
but when you hear Lisa talk, there's some for me there's concern for her there. I'm concerned for Lisa.
Oh boy. Well, now
I'm
I'm really
concerned.
super excited. I need to go and watch it. I need to go and watch it for sure. But yeah, that was this episode. Join us tomorrow. Two tons of fun and Real Housewives of Miami. Um, hold on. Hey, Larja. Alexia's. Okay. Um, okay, so Larja thinks, guys, visit Larja Curves. She has an awesome channel on YouTube.
And she did
Um,
recently hit 1,000.
she did. Hey,
Yes.
nice. Congratulations, Larja. So wait, so Larja says, "Oh my God, I've been loving Real Housewives of Miami. Alexia is a beast who needs to spend more time with her new man. Marisol needs to back away from the cockies. Nicole is a good friend. Oh, I love you too. Miss you a bunch. Oh, love you too, Larja. Oh, Sunday. Is that your next live? I hope so.
I think she said she hit on Sunday is what it is. I think.
Oh, you hit on Sunday. Awesome. Awesome. Well, from now on, you'll just take off. It's much easier once you get past that 1,000 mark. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't think that Marisol is the alcoholic that she's portraying herself to be. She's like in PR.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's found a shtick as a friend of. She knows her best talents lay in um her confessionals and causing those little dropping those little bombs that set off the bigger explosions. I think she understands how to be a friend of. Um and I wonder if she her personal life has always been so dodgy. I think it's safer for her to be a friend of. For real. Mm. Nicole is very aware. I feel like Larsa drops all the bombs, but she's sloppy with it. That's the thing.
True.
Like, okay, Marisol's like a ninja, and Larsa is like a clown when it comes to stirring trouble. It really is. There's just no comparison. Uh, Nicole, really? Really?
Okay.
Okay, so Largest says that Nicole and Tony give me Girardi vibes.
Mm. I mean, we're hoping against hope that you know.
Okay, Large, yeah. I really feel like maybe it's just because I just don't like Larsa, but I just find that she's very sloppy. Um. Oh, your fingers are crossed that nothing will ever come up. Well, girl, you never know. You never know. But for now, I think Nicole is the perfect housewife in the making. Um, I mean, she's a quick study. Within one
Mhm.
season, she's come so far, and she's outpaced anyone else that I've seen. So good for her. Um, any final thoughts, Jamal?
No, we're good, and I believe is next week the finale.
I think so.
I know Family
I
Promise next week is the finale.
thank God. That was just stretching out a little too long.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
was painful.
But yeah, so tomorrow join us. Bring your notes if you're into the 1,000 pound series. Oh, the Freaky Sisters, Extreme Sisters, that's coming back as well.
Hmm.
The Australian sisters are back. They seem even more
Why?
annoying. I don't know. I don't know.
They weren't that interesting the first time around.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Educated, fun, rich equal Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Spot on. Spot on. Okay. All right. So join us tomorrow if you have the time. And bring your notes. Leave your comments below. We want to know what you think. Oh, Miami's almost over, Jamal. What are we gonna do? Is this the only
Always.
Housewife franchise that we really enjoy?
I
Oh,
enjoy
Dubai.
Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are they
Dubai
filming
and Durban and was it Lagos?
Durban?
Well, Durban. We
No,
did
it was
Durban. We did
Durban.
Durban.
Mm-hmm.
Durban was fun. and I've been digging. I've been.
Listen, at times we were lost, but thank you to all of those who chimed in the comments and helped explain a lot of things to us. But I thoroughly enjoyed Durban.
Well, I
Oh my
enjoyed Durban
gosh.
because we were lost. We didn't have anything to draw on. We were going in blind and trying to figure it out. That's that's what's missing from Housewives. It's become too formulaic. We kind of see everything. Everything's on
Hmm.
social media. Yeah, that's why Durban was so much fun.
Well, that and the fact that I think we lost a lot in translation because they were
That
saying a
too.
whole lot, and then the bottom of the script, the closed caption was like, "Oh, we had fun." What? Huh? We're missing a lot, and we didn't have the backstory of Lakanka.
Right.
Lakanta.
We had to yeah
And
we had to
yeah,
we
and
had to
that
figure that
had to be
out.
explained to us. The polygamy aspect in Zulu, that had to be explained to us. Her husband, that had to be explained to us. Um, oh, the backstory with the lady Ayana, Ayana, what was it?
Ayanda.
Ayana. Yes, with her husband, the death, um, the babies, the outside kids, all of that had to be explained to us because they were filming this for their uh
Their
market
audience,
segment, their audience, and they knew, and we were like, say what now?
right?
But we
We were
got the
like,
cliff
huh?
notes.
It was so much fun to do that though because it's like, wait a minute, what? That happened? That wow. To me, that
Mhm.
was the most enjoyable thing about it is that I didn't have anything to draw on. I wasn't
Look,
going in with preconceived notions.
yeah, look for Durban on Peacock because it came on Bravo, so Peacock might still have the first season on there. That's what they showed. It was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, y'all. So we'll leave you for today, but come on back and visit us tomorrow. And we'll have some more fun then. Okay. So until next time, Jamal.
Of course.
All right, y'all. Bye.